Hello, Tony, Emma, Catherine. So welcome to the Q&A session, and this week we're going to talk about events and how to set up events and sell tickets. Um, Hello, Alison. We're just starting. So before I go through how to set up a event page, has anyone any particular requirements, or you're thinking about doing events and it's something I can focus on as I'm going through setting up? So Tony, for example, you said you've got some events coming up.
Oh, sorry, did you ask if we had any requirements?
Yeah. So if we're going to talk about events today, anything I can make it more relevant to you.
Um, Maybe like the theatre or charity related events.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, Catherine.
Okay, so the sort of events that I've organised have been like charity lunches or charity dinners. So the sort of thing that we would probably do at our charity, and I personally might set up, would be those types of events.
Okay. Yeah, that's
So
really nice.
you don't have to do it specifically for me if somebody else, has already asked for something. But that's the sort of event that we would have.
Okay. Emma, Alison, anything from your perspectives?
So we've used the ticketing events for school discos so far, but we're looking to host a comedy night in the early next year, which is going to be like a bit bigger scale for us.
Yeah. Okay. Alison,
we organise a whole raft of events throughout the year. It's that desperate fundraising type thing. So really, I'm just looking for best practice to try and get more sales and increase that revenue.
Okay, great. That's really good direction, actually. Okay, then let's go through how to set up an event page and how we can maximize the income, and also how we can maximize supporter engagement and buy-in as well. So
before you do that, sorry,
yeah.
Could you just tell me how to mute myself, because I'm not familiar with this platform and I can't for the life of me see where it might be.
So underneath where you can see the control panel, there's a mic button, and you can just click on that mic button. That's it. You got it. Well done. Okay, to set up an event page, go to your control panel and scroll down to where it says events on the right hand side. Click, and then click step 1 of 3, create an event page. We'll go through reporting and other related items in a minute. So you enter your event name. Let's call it a Christmas lunch. I quite like that example. And as ever, every page has a page name and a page description. And every page, you can display the total generated on the page, and also the total number of supporters who've made purchases. And you can also display the share button or not. Now, even for event pages, we still see this as a fundraising page, and this is why we allow you to display the total. So yes, functionally, you're asking people to buy a ticket for an event, but it's part of an organization's fundraising efforts. So sometimes people like to see how much has been raised and also how many people have purchased as well. Each of our pages have their own dedicated URL. So it will be peoplesfundraising.com/event and then something unique. Also, each page has its own associated QR code. So what you want to do in terms of getting people to sign up, you would send out the link via your social media platforms, email, WhatsApp groups, and such like. And the QR code you'll print out and you'll put in physical locations. So for example, if you had a charity shop network, you could put the QR code in the charity shops. If you're a PTA, you could put the QR code at the school gates, and the parents, when they drop their children off, they'll scan and then buy the ticket for the next event. The events, they have a start and an end date and time, which you can also hide as well. So there are some events that maybe are ongoing. So maybe you would, in that case, not show the start and end time. But if it was a specific event, like in this case, a Christmas lunch, you'd probably want to specify the actual date and time. So say we're going to run this on Saturday from 10 o'clock. We'll just put 10 o'clock there and just say it went until 11 o'clock. You'll just put 11 o'clock to the seconds. Now, an event also has a venue or not. So events that don't have venues could be, for example, an online event. But if it's a Christmas lunch, as in this case, you want to put in the venue address. So I'm just going to put in my address. Oh. And once you've put in the venue address, the map will appear on the event page itself. Now, on event pages, some event pages, they are a particular use cases where I'm signing up to undertake a fundraising event. It could be a London Marathon, for example. And if you're setting up an event for that use case, then you can select yes to this, and then supporters, when they're buying the ticket to run the London Marathon or some other fundraising event, they'll be given the option to set up their own fundraising page at the same time, as opposed to buy the ticket for the event and then at another point in time set up the fundraising page. Okay, so that's the basics of setting up events. I now press create, and this is where I assign my campaign. In other words, I link my page to which cause or charity I'm supporting. I'll click continue, and this is where I start to add my tickets. So I could put a individual ticket. I can hide the ticket description if I want. I can enter the price of my ticket, the total quantity of tickets, the minimum and maximum tickets that anyone can purchase at any one time. And also I can enter a sales start and end date. Now, what this allows me to do is to implement tiered ticket promotions. So for example, I could have an individual ticket, which is early bird, and the price of this maybe is £5, and I sell that maybe for the first couple of weeks running up to the event. So just say, because it's on Saturday, maybe I sell it from tomorrow until the 7th, and then I could create another ticket which is normal price of say £10, and then the start date from that would be from the 7th, and the end date would be whenever you wanted to end the sale. So yeah, you can do really, really cool tiered ticket promotions with this solution. So I press create, and very, very quickly, I've created a functional event page where I can share the page on Facebook, Instagram. I've got the QR code here. I can copy the link, or I can buy the associated ticket. I can pay with Google Pay, Apple Pay, debit card, credit card, PayPal, or if people give me cash, check, bank transfer, I can also enter those into the system for free as well. So that means that you've got one system for online payments and one system for offline payments. Yes, Catherine, I had a question.
It's probably a really silly question, but when you were doing the tickets just a minute ago, and you said individual tickets, is there the facility on that to put like individual tickets £10, family tickets 15 or something? Can you add different things on there, or do you have to set up a different tab for each different ticket price?
No, what you do, so that's the basic setup of an event page, and then let's go into some of the other options. So in terms of ticketing now, I can add as many different tickets as I like.
Okay.
So
Right.
I've created my individual ticket. Let's copy that and let's put a family ticket. And the price will be something different. And it's already associated with the Christmas lunch. And essentially you create as many different ticket types as you want. And then just say, I'm coming to the event with my family and Auntie Jane is coming. So I would select one family ticket. Maybe Auntie Jane's coming with her husband. I'll buy her 2 individual tickets. I go to pay, and then the system totals it up for me. So yes, you can create as many different ticket types as you want on the platform.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, let's go back to some other really, really good options. So you can always access the events by clicking menu and then events, view, update, delete pages. So we're going to go back into the events update page now and see what other options there are. So we can theme the page. So if you've noticed, I press preview. This is what the default look and feel for the page looks like. Now I can theme it to any one of the themes on the platform itself. So let's have a look. What will be a good one? Okay, so if this was a disco, for example, Emma, you've probably used this already. I can click that, and essentially the system has overlaid a theme on exactly the same event page. Now you want to theme things because it makes it more contextually relevant. So how cool is that for a PTA disco party? And just check out the themes there. We've got an awful lot of them. If there's a theme that we haven't got that is generic, we'll happily implement it for you as well. Okay, so here's another theme, a nice little bee orientated theme. What's this one here? Oh, it's another theme. So some themes are better than others. What's this one here? Okay, this is a gold and black one. So we're going to keep to the gold and black one. You can also insert as many images within the page itself. And in order to do that, you just select, say, multiple images, and you would update the page, and then the images would appear within the description box of the event itself. Now, also you can embed your email address, Facebook URL, and other social media hooks into the page as well. If you have a YouTube channel and you copy the share URL in here, the video will also appear in the page as well. And what we generally say is people don't read anything at all anymore. So if you've got some nice images, if you've got a great video, just put them in the event page. Okay. Now, clicking on more, there's a few other things you can do also. You can embed documents into the page. So again, if this was a Christmas dinner, what you could do is, if you had a PDF of the menu, you could embed that into the page itself. You can also restrict payment methods. So people can pay with Google Pay, Apple Pay, debit, credit card, PayPal, and also gift voucher. Gift voucher for all of our pages are by default disabled, but they're really good revenue stream for charities in general. But just say you didn't want people to pay with PayPal because PayPal is quite expensive, you can simply turn it off. Okay. And by the way, the majority of people now pay with Google Pay and Apple Pay. We think about 85% of people now pay with Google Pay and Apple Pay, and it's the fastest and least expensive payment method. You can do like small things like change the ticket order as well. So at the moment, the tickets are ordered A to Z, but you can do it Z to A, price, high to low, and low to high. Now, if you click on optionals, this is also really good practice as well. you can associate an optional donation page to your event page. Now, in doing so, what will happen is when somebody makes a donation, they will be asked to make an optional, sorry, when somebody purchases tickets, they'll be asked to make an optional donation to the page you select. Now, you want to do that, especially from the fundraising context, because essentially setting up the event as a fundraising activity, there may be people who want to just give more money than the cost of the event. And so therefore, by linking a donation page to the event page, you're giving those people the option that they can give you the money they want to give you, as opposed to just the money you're allowing them to give you via purchasing tickets. Also, if you click on optionals, you can link a tombola page to it. Now, a tombola is an instant win raffle. Now, by linking an optional tombola, when somebody buys a ticket, they're going to be entered into the tombola, so they're going to know if they win or not. Now, this becomes an incentive to buy, but also it becomes a different experience as well. So you could have one event whereby people are just buying tickets. To make the experience slightly different, slightly more maybe engaging, you can say, well, you're also going to be entered into the tombola when you purchase your tickets. Yes, Catherine.
When you're setting up the page and you're giving the people the optional chance to donate, can you also put something early on that might say, well, I don't know how you might word it. So there might be people who won't attend, but would still want to give a donation.
So you can.
Is there somewhere where you could put something like, oh, you know, if you can't attend or something, that you can still make a donation?
Yeah. Hi, Gaynor.
Hi.
Typically, what you can do is you would just put something like that in the description.
In the description, okay.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And also remember, so last week we had the talk about live meetings. Also remember that if you're running a physical event and either you reach capacity or there are people who want to attend but they can't physically attend, you can hold a live meeting of the physical event itself. Okay, so I would do a couple of different versions if it's a physical event. Have the event page where people are buying the tickets to attend the physical event, at the same time saying if you can't attend but you still want to contribute, make a donation. At the same time saying if you would like to attend but you can't, you can view the physical event via a live meeting, and that sort of captures the majority of use cases. Okay. And if people are interested, you can go to our YouTube channel and look at the live meeting call from last week. It's really, really interesting. Okay, so you can link a tombola, but also you can link optional memberships as well. Now, if you set up one or many membership pages in the system, you could have maybe an individual memberships page, a community memberships page, a company memberships page with different tiers of membership. Then whenever you run an event, you could essentially say, this event is only for, say, gold tier and silver tier individuals. And then what you would do is you would select the membership types here. And then when people go to purchase the event tickets, the system will look for a gold or silver membership tier that is in date, that has previously been purchased by that person. Now, what this enables you to do again is not only it makes the experience of purchasing the event quite exclusive, because you now have income from memberships and then you're doing exclusive membership events, but again it makes it exclusive as well. So you could have if you wanted an event whereby you still want to market and advertise it quite widely, you could still restrict it to people who you have confirmed as members. Okay, so that's one of the problems we find charities, schools, PTAs, and other non-profits having. They want to have an event, but they want to restrict it to a particular group of people, and restricting it by membership solves that problem. Okay, it's a really cool option, that. Okay, so if I now click update, I think I've linked a donation page, I've changed the theme, I've added a couple of images. It's showing when the event is, where it is, and now I've got my 2 different types of tickets. Let's pay with Google Pay, Apple Pay. It's now asking me to enter an optional donation, which can itself be gift aided. Wait for the verify. I click pay. And then I go, in this case, go through the Google Pay, Apple Pay experience. By the way, if you've noticed in this case, I haven't needed to enter any details about myself, my first name, my last name, my email address. And that's by design. So you'll get all of that information of the purchaser, but that is extracted from the associated Google Pay or Apple Pay account. Okay, but from the user perspective, it becomes a very, very fast purchase experience, and you still get all of the details of the purchaser as well. Okay, so let's come back again. And let's go to our events tab. Okay, so there's some of the changes you can make to the event page itself. There are a few other things that you want to do in terms of best practice. When somebody buys a ticket, they're going to get an email, and they're also going to go to a thank you page also. Now, on that thank you page, the default thank you page is quite sparse. So it'll literally say thank you for purchasing 1 ticket to the Christmas lunch in this case. You can add wording to that thank you page with a notification message. So let's just set one up. This. Now, if I look at that thank you page now, can you see here it says this is a notification message? The utility of this is what I'm doing, I'm using an interaction point with the supporter, which is a thank you page, to pass them to the next action or inform them of something else. So if this was buying a ticket to an event where there's an associated raffle, you could say, well, click here to also enter our raffle. Or if it was to do with maybe an annual, you just point people to the next action essentially. Now you can do the same thing if you click on more and add an email notification message. When somebody buys a ticket, they're going to get an email with all of their ticket details in. You can also add your own wording into that email, again, taking the opportunity to pass the supporter to the next action, okay, or inform them of something else. And again, what you ultimately realize you have are a chain of interactions with your supporters. So, for example, somebody can buy tickets, they're then passed to entering the raffle, and then they're passed to something else, and then passed to something else. It's all part of the user or supporter journey. Now, a last couple of things with the extras. You can also short link and tag your events as well. So what short linking does is just say you're going to run a Christmas lunch every year. Okay. Now, what you want to do, you may have, for example, Christmas lunch 2025. Okay. And you may want to have that page sitting around as a history of what Christmas lunches you've undertaken over time. Now, the problem with publishing the Christmas lunch 2025 is that if I click on that link, just say you socialize it via Facebook and Instagram. Now, if I click on that link, in a year's time, it's going to go to an event page that's now old. I can't buy tickets anymore. So what you do is you create a short link and you publish this short link. So essentially it's peoplesfundraising.com/Christmas lunch and the associated QR code. And then when people click on that or scan the QR code, it's going to be redirected to this page. Now, the following year, when you do your Christmas lunch 2026, you would still publish this link, but what you'd do is you would remove the short link from this page and you would reallocate it to your 2026 page. And then what that means is you've got one link and one QR code for all of your events. And so just say you're doing events over 5 years, you've got one QR code and one link for all of your events. It doesn't matter from what post, a supporter clicks on over those 5 years, they're always going to go to the current event. That's really, really quite powerful. Now, it doesn't work if you've got multiple events happening at the same time. Maybe you need a couple of short links, but it happens generally when events are sequential. Okay, so extending short linking, we've also got the concept of tagging. Tagging is really, really important, and it's used in a couple of different contexts. So you set up your event, you publish your short link or long link on Facebook, Instagram, via the QR code at the school gate and whatnot. And that's effort and time. And so what you really want to find out is, where do people scan and from, and where do people click on that QR code, and where should I invest the majority of my time? So what you can do is you can create a tag that is, for example, Schoolgate, and you have the long link, but you have the short link as well. You would print this out and put it at the school gate, and then people would scan that. And when people made a purchase, the tag of Schoolgate would appear in the purchase record itself. And you can create as many of these as you like. So, for example, you can do Facebook, email, Facebook post, not post one, etc. And then you can really see from where people are scanning and making their purchases. Okay, really, really powerful. Right, Tony, what's your question? Okay, right. Thank you for your time, Tony. Now, the other utility of tagging is that you can also use it for resellers. Or if you're a school or you're a PTA, you could hold a competition between your classes, see which class generates the most purchases. So again, school PTA, you could have, say, Oak class. You create that and you give Oak class their own link and QR code, and all the kids in Oak class, go out and go to their parents. Or you could do Cedar and whatnot. And so all the kids and all the classes have their own QR codes, and then you can see with the purchase record who's generated the most money. So that creates a nice competition. Okay. Now, you can also have resellers as well. So just say John is a reseller. You could give John his own QR code and link, and then he'll go out there, publish the QR code and link, and then you can see that John sold £300 worth of tickets, and then you can reward him appropriately. Okay, so tagging is a really, really beautiful but powerful technique. And I think that's, from a high level, events. Really, really straightforward to set up. You can use it in lots of different use cases in terms of online events and offline events. You can track from where people are scanning and clicking. And yes, just a very simple tool. And we also use it ourselves. So you probably signed up to this page, whereby instead of actually purchasing something, you can just register your interest. So this is yet another use case of events whereby you don't have to ask people for money. They can just register their interest in something. Okay, so hopefully that was quite a simple experience when you register your details. Right. Any questions? Alison, Catherine, Gaynor, Emma? Catherine.
Okay, so I was talking to you about doing poetry events in schools. So I want to give people the option to purchase my poetry books. So therefore, I don't know if it probably would it I don't know if it would be this page or not. So it might not be relevant to today, but Is there a way or something that you could suggest that I could set up a page so that the link could be sent to parents so they would know how to order the books from me and what information to give me?
Okay, great. Thanks very much for that.
Could it be done doing a system like this on
Yeah.
here somewhere?
So just say you set up an event where parents, kids, they come and maybe see you present poetry.
Yeah.
But you've also set up an associated shop page. Now, what you could do, you could communicate that to them via an email notification message or a notification message. Remember that email notification message is your own wording that's applied to the email receipt that they receive. So it will be, thank you, Nathan. You can also buy my poetry via my online shop. Click here. These are your ticket details. And when they go to the thank you page, it can have the same or similar message. Thank you for signing up to come and see me present poetry, or thank you for signing up for the Christmas lunch. You can also click here to buy something from the shop. Okay. But the other thing as well is what you can also do is your tickets can be, you can purchase anything as a ticket as well. So for example, Christmas lunch, if this was a PTA do or whatnot, and I wanted to also pre-order burgers, I could create a ticket for that. Or sausages, or whatever it could it is. Just say they're £2.50. You know, you got loads of them. I can click update, and then on my event page, I can not only buy the entry tickets, but also I can pre-order food, drinks at the same time. Okay. Now, if you start doing that, one question is, how do people know what you've bought as well? Okay. Even with entry, how do people know what you've bought? Now, there are two ways you can control that. So firstly, just say in terms of entry, you would print out the ticket purchase reports. And let me show you how you can get to that. You click on menu, you click on reports, you go to events, and you download the ticket purchase report. So you can download the ticket purchase report and you can see who's purchased what. So when they come to the event or the burger van, you can check them off. Okay. But what's even better than that is, let me just show you. You will notice that there's this, it's on the ticket itself. On the ticket, you'll notice that there's a scan and check option. Okay. Now, what scan and check is when somebody buys a ticket, just say they bought a family ticket, 2 individual tickets and 5 burgers, they're going to get an email with a QR code in. Now, generally, people have their email on their phone now, or they can print out the email with the QR code. So when they come to enter, they'll present the QR code, and you can scan it from your phone, and you can check off that that people have entered or they've been given their burger. Okay, and again, at the burger van, the person would take their QR code to the burger van either on their phone or printed, and the burger van can scan the QR code and see that they're like 4 burgers. They can check off that the person's had 2 burgers, and then the person who's eaten the burgers comes back another time. The burger van man scans it again, and they've checked off the last 2 burgers. So scan and check is a really, really great tool for controlling, say, entry and access to food and drink. Really, really great system. But we always say with scan and check, always have the physical printout as backup as well. But also, pretty much all phones have the QR code reader, and that's why it's really easy for, you know, if you're selling burgers, you're selling hot dogs, you're selling sweets, you're selling entry to the bouncy castle, for everyone to have their own phone scanning the QR code and saying, yeah, you got 3 rides left, you got 2 burgers left, and I'm just checking it off. So use the scan and check as well. Catherine, did that answer your question? I think I went off on a slight tangent there.
Yeah, I think what I really want to do is because obviously if I'm going into schools and going into assemblies, people aren't going to be buying tickets. So what I'm really looking for is a way that people can a link that I can give the parents so that they can give me the information for the books that they want to order. So it would go out, say, 4 weeks or whatever before I went to the school with a finish date, and that I can access that so that I know what books they want, who they want, if they want it dedicated to anyone, and that they can pay directly to my charity through people's fundraising.
So I would set up a shop page for that.
Right, that would be a shop pay. Yeah,
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 yeah.
okay.
And then you could list the different books, and people could have the books delivered to them or not. You can choose.
Well, I would
Um,
take them in. I would take them into the school on the day of the event. So
okay,
a shop page would be suitable for that.
that's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And just one other thing. Sorry, everybody, that I'm asking a lot of questions. So supposing I'm having an event which I'm organising and it's in a London club, and it's so presumably everybody will pay for the tickets online, etc. And then I presume the charity would therefore, when they've got the amount, the charity would then transfer the money themselves to the event place for the cost of the food, etc.
So you can do it that way, but the better way to do it to is for the event organization to register, say, on people's fundraising. They would put in their own bank details, and then what you do, one of my event pages, you change the campaign split, and just say you said,
Okay.
well, there's a couple of different ways. Either the event costs a specific amount or you do revenue share. And so this is an example of doing revenue share. Okay. So what you can say is, just imagine this is the organization who are providing the premises, and you agree to give them, say, 20% of the income.
Okay. Yeah, that's better, isn't it?
Yeah. And then you would say, okay, you take the 80% of the income. And as long as they're on the platform, then the system will allocate each purchase 80% and 20% and pay you the 80% and pay them the 20% directly.
Yeah, that's really easy. So if I had an event at a club, then
Yeah,
automatically then I don't need to worry then, do I, about paying them because it's already done for me.
that's correct. That's correct.
And we just get the profits.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm correct in thinking, aren't I, that you can't gift aid on tickets or anything like that. The gift aid is just on the optional donation that you're offering people.
That's correct. And the
Yeah.
reason why is you're exchanging some tangible value. So any tangible value exchange, you can't gift aid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah. This, by the way, this splitting is really quite a big paradigm shift for majority of organizations. So whatever type of charity, not profit you are, there are lots of communities, schools, Rotary clubs, tennis clubs, sports clubs, and companies who want to work with you, but their time is precious. Their businesses, their sports clubs, their community clubs. And so now with this, splitting of the money, you can now work with these companies, you can now work with these communities whereby their costs are either covered or they're generating income when they're engaging with you. So that's a
Okay.
massive population of communities and companies now. And I really like your event example, because maybe that event space is not really hired out. So you're saying, okay, let's have a risk-based approach here whereby both of us will go on market, and this is the particular split of money for that event. And it's a very business orientated, or rather partner orientated way of approaching charity fundraising, whereby everyone in the value chain benefits. It's not now, or rather, we're coming away from the paradigm of you're a school, you're a PTA, you're a sports club, you're a charity. we're doing something, just give us stuff for free. We're moving away from that paradigm to say everyone's now a participant in, in the fundraising, and you need to have your time paid off. So yeah, splitting is a great way of engaging with communities and companies.
And again, could you split it with another charity?
Yes, yeah. You
Yeah.
can, so theoretically you can split it 100 times, and you can split with any charity that's on the platform. Or remember, it's not just charity, it's any organization on the platform.
Yeah. Okay.
So on People's Fundraising, we've probably got thousands of PTAs and schools and sports clubs on there. But also, more and more businesses are registering on People's Fundraising because they want to do interesting things with charities.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Alison. Have you got any questions before you go?
No, thank you. That was really useful. I've actually made a whole load of notes of different bits and pieces you suggested. So yeah, really good. Thank you.
Great. All right. Have a great day.
And you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Right. Emma, got any questions?
Yeah, I had a couple of questions. So talking about the QR scan and go, one of the issues we had, it's not really an issue, but we had people who couldn't find the emails when they'd purchased, and it was always one of two things: either it was in the junk folder, or it was often like their email associated with Google Pay or Apple Pay is like one they don't really use regularly or anymore, and they've forgotten about. And I was wondering, like, people were asking to resend the email. Is there any way, like, we can do that? Because I could obviously go in and see that they'd purchased, and I just said, don't worry about it, I can see you on the system.
So we're experiencing that more, actually. And so at the moment, somebody can, or you can just ask us and we'll reissue the email. But another use case is that people, the email address associated with the Google Pay, Apple Pay, they don't use anymore. So what we can also do is we can change that email address to an email they now use, and then we can reissue. Okay. So the reissuing comes from us, but we're going to open that out up to the event organizers so they can reissue themselves. But that's coming shortly. But yeah, because at the moment it does happen, we're aware of it, but it doesn't happen enough. We're in control of that. So any issues like that, just say this person, they've either lost it or they can't find it, or they're not using that email. Just send us the details and we will reissue to the relevant email address.
That's great, thank you. And for our comedy night, I was just wondering if you've considered any way of having like a seating plan, so where people pick seats.
Yeah, we haven't at the moment. No, that's a step we haven't looked at. We would like to know your thoughts though on that and how that would implement. Now, the reason why we say that is the platform has been created with speaking to charities, non-profits, and how they want to use it. And so if you've got any ideas, just email us at support, say how you would like the system to behave, what extension, and we could look at implementing it. And generally what we say is, if the function that you're asking for, recommending, would be useful to other organizations, we'll just implement it. Okay. But yeah, seating is not something that's there at the moment. You can do things like buy different dates, because you just create different tickets, but not an associated seating plan. Yeah.
And then just one other question. You mentioned the short link. Can you use that for raffles?
Yes. So short links can go literally anywhere. Now you can have, for example, a raffle short link, one for events, one for donations, or you can just have one short link and you're reassigned to the current page. It could be a raffle, could be an event, could be anything. So short links are really powerful. And if you just notice with short links, it's peoplesfundraising.com/something. And so whatever page you associate this word to is the page that the supporter will be directed to. That's why you can have one short link for whatever your current activity is.
Because we run like 2 raffles a year, and like I'm just thinking every time we update all our comms, but if it just stayed the same QR code, that would be so much easier.
Yeah, yeah, definitely use short links, and that means you've got one link and one QR code for all of your raffles into the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else there, Emma?
That was it. Thanks.
All right, cool. Catherine, from yourself?
I just thought it was interesting what you said, Emma, about the emails, because I found from my personal emails I've had to remove quite a lot of the links that I had on it to do with my poetry, for example, or to do with the fact that I'm a charity trustee, because I've just found that people just weren't getting my emails anymore. So there seems to be like a lot of screening. I mean, this probably isn't a relevant thing. I don't know what you're talking about. It's just interesting that I found recently lots of places seem to be putting on screens, I suppose, so that, or filters, I think you call it, so that, yeah, I just don't know if anyone else has found that or if there's a way around it that when you're sending links to people, I just found that people weren't getting my emails anymore, basically.
By the way, what we're finding is that Hotmail seems to be particularly problematic at the moment.
I found that with Hotmail and Gmail as well.
Oh, Gmail, yeah.
As well, that's another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't suppose there's any way around these issues because people don't know, if people don't check junk boxes either, I find. And I think also maybe because people are using their phones more and more, like you say, for emails, they might be even less likely to look in a junk box on a phone. I don't know, but
yeah. Thanks for that comment, Catherine. Yeah. Okay, anything else before we wrap up, Emma, Catherine?
no, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time again. And as I always say at the end, we're always here. If you've got any other questions or queries, just reach out and one of the team can support. But thank you very much for your time again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.